What's going on, buddy? Crypto Kid here, coming at you guys again with another video. Today we're talking about one of the hottest and best projects in crypto, that is Solana. You know what? We're optimists on this channel. We like to talk and focus more on the good that's to come in the future than dwelling on the bad stuff that's been happening in crypto the past few weeks. Obviously, the markets have not been great. We're finding a little bit of stabilization here with Bitcoin around $37,000. So hopefully it doesn't go a whole lot lower, but honestly, I think it's fairly obvious that it's going to. If you guys didn't watch yesterday's video explaining this bear market, you should go ahead and check that out. Pause this video, check that out, and then come back here. Anyways, we kind of have a general sense of where this market's going, but we also know where this is eventually going to end up, and that is 2024, 2025. Seen a lot of these coins start to go on crazy, crazy runs. This is one of the coins that we love on this channel. We're going to be highlighting it today. So without further ado, let's get right into the video. So where can you buy Solana? Honestly, this is on just about every exchange that you'll find, but especially Binance, Coinbase, FTX, and KuCoin. This is where most of the volume is currently. The market cap is $28.9 billion as of late, with a fully diluted market cap of $47.2 billion. This is a proof of stake blockchain platform. The current price is $91.84, with a high of $258.93 in the last 365 days, and a low of $3.80 in the past year, which we should note, this was before Solana kind of made its big move. Obviously, a historic run like nothing we've ever seen. So this isn't a very fair low, to be honest, for Solana, because we have been, if we want to come over and look at the price history here, in the past year, we have obviously been above into the double digits for quite some time at this point. Really haven't gone much lower than about right here, which is around $23. And then obviously since it looks like the end of August, start of September, we've been over $100 until just recently we're falling back below. So we're almost at a point where it's going to be a great time to buy. Honestly, see us pulling back all the way to somewhere around this range. We're probably going to test, if I had to guess, I'd say around $40 to $50 is going to be our low for Solana, which I know it sounds crazy now, but trust me, I do think that's coming. But once again, not financial advice. Just use this as jumping points to do your own research, obviously. But I'm just going to tell you guys my opinion straight up, and that's that Solana is probably going to dip down to around $50 when all said and done over the next coming years. So moving into it, what exactly is Solana? We're going to go ahead and do some comparisons here with other platforms real quick, and just kind of give you guys some of these numbers because they are just insane. So this is the current transactions per second. This updates every minute just about, and it's 3,014 total transactions up to, this looks like around 54 billion. If I'm looking at it right, average cost per transaction is insane. It's a quarter of a penny. Validator nodes, 1,443. So, I mean, nothing we can really say about the website poorly. Obviously, it looks great. They're saying low cost forever. Solana scalability ensures transactions remain less than 1 cent for both developers and users. Solana is all about speed with 400 millisecond block times. As hardware gets faster, so does the network. So, obviously, speed is the name of the game for Solana. 60,000 transactions per second. And like we just mentioned, that block time is insane compared with, say, Ethereum. It takes around 14 seconds to complete a block. And the current TPS is around 14.5 as we speak. So obviously, there's a whole lot more going on at Solana, much faster at this point. But we also have to understand that so much more is built on Ethereum. Obviously, there's a lot more congestion there, a lot more to deal with. Whereas Solana is kind of that new player that not a whole lot has been built on yet. And obviously, they're fresh. They haven't had to really worry about handling this insane volume yet. So that's definitely, I don't want to knock Ethereum too much because Ethereum is a fantastic project, could very well remain the king forever. But we have to understand that Solana is one of these big competitors that really could unseat Ethereum in the future. So just getting into it, I mean, if you guys can't tell by now, it's another blockchain platform, just like Ethereum, just like Algorand, Cosmos, all the ones that we've talked about, Cardano, everything. But this is honestly probably the number 1 or 2 blockchain platform, in my own opinion, based on my own experience with them and how fast they've been. Ethereum is by far the worst. Ethereum's fees are just borderline unusable, and that really discouraged me. That's when I started to dislike Ethereum a lot, was just when I actually went to use it. I was like, holy smokes, the user experience is horrible versus some of these other blockchain platforms. So moving into it more, just wanted to come back here and show you guys where we've been in the past in terms of market cap. So if we come back to November real quick, so around November 7th, November 8th, $75 billion was what we peaked out at in terms of highest market cap. And then you consider something like Ethereum, whose market cap went to over 500 billion, I believe, at one point. If we want to come in here, same month, same time, coming down here real quick, boom, right here. 550 billion, 570 billion, it looks like, was the peak for Ethereum. So when I'm thinking about my 2025 price prediction for Solana, I'm bouncing a lot of these numbers around in my head. And I'm thinking, if Solana's doing this for transactions per second, this for blockchain or block finality time, and it's starting to have this and this built on it, whereas Ethereum is doing a lot of the opposite in a bad way. You start to factor all that together, and you think, if Solana can just continue to become more exposed, a lot more people know about it and are building on it, and it can just start to chip away at more and more of Ethereum's users and the people that are built on Ethereum. Obviously, things are looking phenomenal for it. I'm going to go out on a limb here and say that it surpasses a market cap of $250 billion. That would put the price of Solana at over $795 per coin. So that's an 8 to 9x at the current supply and price. Keep in mind that the current market cap right now is $28.9 billion, so these numbers are subject to change. But yeah, I honestly do believe that $250 billion market cap is coming, and that's not necessarily going to be to the detriment of Ethereum. I think there's a world where both of them can be successful, but we're going to have to see some more of that interoperability that we've talked about in the past between these platforms if they're going to coincide, because there's no way that these projects can coincide if they're not going to be connected. It's just going to be like if Bank of America refused to do any kind of transactions with Wells Fargo, or just obviously banks, even if they're not the same company, they have to work together just to make it easier for their users, because you know what? It's a big world. There's a lot of things going on, and some platforms might be better suited for certain projects, and that's just always how it's going to go. And the last thing I wanted to mention for Solana, this is a very good thing, is that it's carbon neutral. This is something we've talked about in the past. If we're going to move the world's finances and a lot of this data to the blockchain world, obviously this is going to be the number one factor. Is the project carbon neutral? Can we do this in a way where it's going to help the environment, lessen some of the burden that we're putting on our planet? So this is obviously, we love to see. We're only, for each Solana transaction, is only 1,989 joules, whereas gaming on a PlayStation 5, I guess is their comparison per hour, is 12.6 million joules. So obviously a whole lot faster compared to the PS5. I'm not sure if that's the best metric, but I definitely love to see that. So anyways, guys, that's going to do it for this one. Let me know of your thoughts about Solana in the comments. I'd love to hear you guys out. I'll see you all in the next one. Peace.